Welcome to High Infidelity, the best cheating videos on YouTube. If you enjoy this content, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now let's get into the video.
Third time he has cheated. Is this ever going to work? Background information. Kind of long sorry. My boyfriend, 25 male, and I, 24 female, have been dating for about 5 years, and we've lived together for 4 of those years. For the first time, he cheated on me during the winter of last year. Prior to the last 10 months, I was never the kind of guy who would rummage through his phone. He'd never given me a reason not to trust him, so I never felt compelled to do so. It was just by chance that I discovered it. He was showing me something on his phone when a notice from a female appeared. I wouldn't have thought anything of it if he hadn't instantly dismissed it with, "Don't worry, she's ugly." Which of course struck me as an odd thing to hear from him for a variety of reasons. So later on, when we were out canoeing, I his phone for a brief minute and discovered some really romantic text messages. I didn't read them all before returning the phone, and wow, I wish I had. He then removed everything. He insisted she was a friend, and he'd not spoken to a female in so long that he'd forgotten how to speak to girls like friends. Because it was his first time doing anything like this, we had some words and I discarded it. I told him he could speak to her as if she were a buddy. He made up the tale of going to supper with his sister about a month later. But I could see he wasn't doing that. When he returned, he lied to me. That his sister was doing really well and so on. But due to Google, I knew where he went. He took her out to dinner, purchased everything, and remained at her house until 1 a.m. before returning to the hotel where he was staying for work. I waited about a week for him to inform me, believing he may. He didn't do it. To give him another opportunity to tell me what he did on his own, I implied that I knew something. He admitted to me that he had supper with that female, but he denied returning to her home or purchasing the meal. I essentially told him I knew everything, yet he still didn't give me the complete truth. We've been together for about a month and a half, and are doing very well. I had opted to put the incident behind me, but I was still apprehensive. He began chatting to a high school acquaintance, female #2. It didn't take long for them to start speaking incorrectly as well. Talking on Snapchat and texting. Making lengthy phone conversations. Definitely making arrangements that my boyfriend was attempting to hide as simply hanging out with an old buddy. This time, it was evident that I was aware, and he brought it up to me and apologized. Though considering how blatant it was, I'm not sure it matters much. I was being a little too intrusive with his phone and had been keeping an eye on this affair with female #2. It was difficult not to think about it, and I checked his phone every time he walked out of the room or fell asleep. In any case, he vowed it wouldn't happen again. I begged him to promise me that he would never talk to girl #1 again, and that he would learn how to speak to girl #2 as a friend from now on. He made the pledge. He told me how much he didn't want to lose me, how much he cares about me, and so on. He stopped talking to female #1, and he stopped talking to girl #2. His assurances were only good for another 2 months. Not even close. This time I didn't find out about any of this until 4 months after the previous event I was aware of. Of course, he didn't inform me. I had to track it down. He just started a new job up north and would be gone for 8 days. When he returned, he was probably too fatigued to be as meticulous in deleting everything as he had been for the previous several months. All of these phone calls were visible to me. He chatted to all 3 of us every day he was gone. I waited another day to see if he would tell me what was going on himself. At this time, I'd only seen phone calls that he subsequently deleted. When I brought it up, he denied making any phone calls. Do you have evidence? No, I don't have evidence this time, but I know what I witnessed. When he fell asleep the following night, I performed a thorough search on his phone and came upon the messages trash bin. And luckily for me, I discovered his messages with both of the same females during the previous 30 days, since that all the trashed bin will hold. He spoke to them in the same manner he speaks to me, particularly to girl #2, and it stung a much. He promised them everything he had promised me, and he even spoke gentler to them, like if he was more interested. He told female #2 she's the one, he loves her. I'm going to take you out for dinner when I get back, reserve a hotel. She sent him photos or he requested them. So I had evidence now. I awoke the following morning to find him weeping, but I hadn't yet informed him what I'd discovered. I assumed he understood what I'd discovered, but he was unhappy because he thought I was going to leave him. So, around 8 a.m., I opened all of the texts and read them out to him. This time I was more outraged than anything else, almost laughing at it because I couldn't believe, and still can't believe, that someone who claims to love you can cheat on you a third time. How can he lie to my face? I don't know how I would have realized if there hadn't been evidence. Would he ever have told me? I was prepared to depart. But he says he loves me, that he's sorry, and that he never meant to harm me. He claims he didn't inform me because he didn't want me to be unhappy. Look, I really want to think he's serious. I think he likes me. I'd want to believe that since this cheating began just a year ago, it won't happen again in the future. Perhaps it's simply a lousy year. But I'm afraid I'm a total. How am I going to stay? How can he love me yet hardly keep a commitment, lie to my face, and deny what I witnessed if he doesn't have tangible evidence in front of him? I really want to trust him. Part of me believes he is serious about this connection. We've accomplished so much together. We've gone through a lot together and have helped each other through some difficult times, and we have a lot of fun as well. Every day, he makes me chuckle. I feel like I'd be letting go of a lot. If I remain, am I a total? I'm starting to wonder whether I'm merely the backup plan, the mother material. And most importantly, I believe I've exhausted all possibilities for determining if he's lying to me or cheating on me. And if he can't tell me, so much so that he's ready to manipulate me, how will I know the next time? Please share your thoughts with me if someone really reads the colossal mess I've just created. Story 2. My 39 male, wife 32 female, is openly cheating on me with my coworker, 36 male, who is now mocking me. I and the guy both work at the same place. The issue is that I can't just change jobs. It's a sensitive situation. We are essentially police, but we deal with severe situations such as murders and kidnappings. A career change is an option, but I would lose a lot of money. As a result, we run into each other virtually every day. Worst of all, I allowed it to happen. For almost 2 months, I suspected she was cheating on me with him. This man is phoning her throughout dinner, and I believe it is on purpose. He is aware that I am at home. I'm simply patient. I shouldn't be, but we've been married for 8 years, and I don't want to throw it all away. I know she sleeps with him, and I discovered she slept with him in our bed as well. Everyone makes fun of me. Some were in my face, but the most were behind my back. We come from Eastern Europe. Ours is the most humiliating sort of humiliation in this country. He was also promoted a few days ago. He already had a decent function for his age, but since he is in such fantastic physical form, he typically does a really good job. In addition, he is much more vicious than I am. We worked on numerous cases together, one involving drug traffickers, and he was harsh to the men. So to say, I am more human. I feel useless and I want my wife back. I want him out of my life. I want to keep my career, and I've never been more depressed in my life. What should be the next step? Why does he continue to do this? Why does he call her when he knows I'm at home, have with her in my bed, and then act as if nothing is going on when we're on the shift? What frustrates me even more is the fact that the dude is rather beautiful. When I confronted her, she said that he is fantastic in bed. When I asked her how he did it, she claimed he pulls her hair and such. I've never felt more at ease doing anything like this. Edit. We don't have any children, and I forgot to include that something happened last year, I won't say what, that painted him in a terrible light while painting me in a favorable one, and he has loathed me ever since.